Welcome back to Dwayne. Pre-recording this on Friday for Saturday because we got a massive storm possibly coming through. Not even possibly, almost certainly coming through at this point. I left the name of who gave me this one downstairs, so I'll just put it in the description. Who's this? Who gave me this suggestion? But they suggested Meliodas versus Killua. I think that's his name from Hunter x Hunter and Seven Deadly Sins, respectively. I neither watch nor read Seven Deadly Sins, though I do have done Meliodas a couple times, so I do relatively know his power. He is I believe, the son of a demon. I'm actually just going to get his bio right now, because I know in terms of the sins, he's the sin of wrath, and he's the strongest one. But he's also, like, a demon? He's the son of is the dragon's sin of wrath, and captain of the Seven Deadly Sins, the husband lover of Elizabeth Lyanus in her previous incarnations, the incumbent king of the kingdom of Lyanus, and the main protagonist. Yeah, his sacred treasure is the demon sword. Yeah, this dude is actually pretty nuts powerful. In terms of power, like this guy is capable of leveling mountains, honestly, taking out entire countrysides with just sheer energy alone. He's a skilled fighter, swordsman, has lived for thousands of years, and actually was, I believe, cursed to just keep living over and over again. After, his main ability is full counter, which basically reflects magical attacks aimed at him back at the enemy, but much greater power. The problem here is that in Hunter x Hunter, there's no magic. Nen is a different thing than magic. It's not magic. But Hellblaze, a mysterious ability displayed that allows him to generate black flames. Assault mode unleashes his full demon power to its fullest, achieving immense power. Also allows him to access his full power according to Melaskula. Back in the days when he was in command of the Ten Commandments, even they were in fear of him while he was in this mode. Drawback is it temporarily robs him of feelings and emotions. Kami Chirigi. Meliodas cuts his opponent with his sword a total of 1,000 times in an instant. He launches a barrage of spears of high concentrated darkness at an opponent with trillion darks. Shiden Ishin. Multiple opponents slashed in an instant. His commandment, as the former leader of the commands, he was the original wielder of the commandment of love, which was bestowed upon him by the Demon King. Those who stand before him with hatred in their hearts will be rendered powerless to harm and inflict damage at anyone else. To ally himself with the God's clan, he was willing to abandon the commandment and betray all the Demon Clan. Due to a forbidden spell, the Demon King gave the commandment to his supposed second son. Who was this? After completing the ritual, he absorbed via absorption. He absorbed all the commandments. Meliodas held all the commandments, but upon forcing the Demon King out of his body, commands were also forced. Okay, so he at one point held all the commandments, and let me tell you right now, the commandments. I've read a couple of the commandments. Those things are no freaking joke. But he doesn't have them anymore, so we can't give them to him. He doesn't have them. But he wields a giant broadsword, dragon handle, used the broken sword in conjunction with full counter. The sword also appears to have the abilities of its own, and is one of the keys to the Coffin of Eternal Darkness. Liz's sword. He's held many different weapons, apparently. In terms of his power level, I mean, he's apparently got a total power level ranking in his normal form at like 3,370. Then with a demon mark, it goes up to 4,400. Going berserk, it's up to 10,300, and then having his power restored to its normal levels now jacks up his base at 32,500. His demon marked at 56,000, and after his revival, his powers are as follows: 60,000, great, and assault mode 142,000. Now this doesn't translate to Hunter x Hunter really at all, but still, like power, speed, these are all enhanced. This is a guy who literally could do 1,000 sword strikes in an instant, meaning at least a second, if not faster. This is a guy whose strength can literally shatter landscapes. This is a guy who can literally take down some of the strongest individuals. As a matter of fact, let's actually quickly go over those commandments again, because he was the leader of them, and every one of the commandments were afraid of him. It implies that none of the commandments would work against him. The commandment of faith allows anyone who shows a lack of faith will have their eyes set ablaze. Let me repeat that. Their eyes will be basically set on fire. Love, anyone who holds hatred in the heart will be unable to inflict harm on anyone else. Yeah, you basically become completely pacified. The commandment of pacifism allows anyone who kills will rapidly have their own time stolen away, causing them to rapidly age and die. Patience. Anyone who shows intolerance of pain who shows intolerance of pain will be inflicted with further pain. So basically, if you're like this tough guy like Killua is, it's like, is that the best you got? No, it's like, you're going to keep feeling pain until you start feeling something. The calamity of pity. Anyone who shows their back to the wielder will become obedient slaves of the Demon King and by extension the command holder. Hi. Purity. Anyone who conducts impure deeds will be inflicted with illness. Repose. Anyone who fights without rest will get their magic sealed away. Reticence. Anyone who expresses hidden feelings and emotions will be rendered unable to speak. Not that bad. Selflessness. Anyone who holds desire from another person will lose their memories, emotions, and sense of self. And truth. Anyone who lies or goes back on their word will be petrified and turned to stone. Yeah, the commandments are kind of effed up. And every one of those guys who was wielding commandment, apart from love, was afraid of Meliodas. That's how strong Meliodas is. Or Meliodas. I don't know actually how to pronounce his name. Killua. Now, Killua is a member of an assassin's clan going back ages in his family. He's only, I think 12, or he's not very old. I think he got older as the series went on. Obviously, he did. But you know what I mean. Time skip-wise, we had that. But he is a master assassin. He has many different assassination techniques, including one where he just grows in claws. That's apparently a technique he just knew. He is extremely adept, extremely fast, has a high resistance to poisons and drugs. His power set, though, he's strong enough, as we see, to basically, if I'm not mistaken, he was strong enough to open the giant, 10 doors of his estate. I have read, a certain amount of Hunter x Hunter, and I'm still trying to, keep reading more. I just, finding the time to do it. But, I'll admit, because one of the reasons I started reading and picking up and reading the mangas, not because I never really didn't have an interest per se, but I just didn't have time, was because a lot of people have given me Hunter x Hunter and Black Clover suggestions for what ifs. And if I'm going to do what ifs about those, I need to have a much better idea of the story. So yeah, I'll say this: I like Black Clover a lot more than I like Hunter x Hunter. Maybe it's the art style. Maybe it's because Black Clover just feels a lot more like a shonen, like Naruto, Bleach, all that My Hero, like that, because that I would watch or read. So I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, and then he's got his Nen, which is Nen. He can manipulate. He knows the 4 basic types and has mastered, or at least learned 5 of the more advanced types. He can create a protective barrier. Let's call it not even barrier. It's a barrier of his aura is around him, about 57 centimeters. That allows him to basically feel incoming objects coming in. He's got a high resistance to electricity, which has enabled him to learn to use his Nen to harness electricity in his body, or turn his Nen into electricity, and fire that. Then, electrical fists, thunderbolts on a technique. He's got his Godspeed, which he moves. He's got God knows levels of speed. Godspeed. He's a master hand-to-hand martial artist. He is a seasoned killer. He will not hesitate to kill. He levels out a little bit in the series, but he won't hesitate to kill. So yeah, he's very skilled. There's no doubt about it. The problem really here is between damage dealt and just sheer power. Killua is completely outclassed in this fight. He most likely doesn't even have a speed advantage despite what we see. And the problem is Hunter x Hunter is full of plenty of weird things, monsters, sure, but it's filled with humans. It's kind of like One Piece. Everyone in One Piece is still humanoid or human. Well, they definitely have capabilities that go well beyond the superhuman. You're talking about him versus basically kind of a king of demons here. And from what we've seen, Killua does not have country level of destruction. He doesn't even have town level of destruction. He at best maybe has a building level of destruction capability, whereas Meliodas can easily wipe out a kingdom. Meliodas is millennia older too. He's just had some far more battle experience. He's also got a disposition that I think would piss Killua off. It's very similar to Gon's, but different, because I think he would be just a little condescending, because once the fight gets going, Meliodas can get into it. I just don't see a scenario here where Killua is going to be able to get even a knockout blow, let alone a killing blow, because I don't know if he'd be able to even dish out enough damage to even hurt Meliodas that much. My money, like Killua would definitely give it his damnedest going to Godspeed mode, all that, and Godspeed mode might be able to at least annoy Meliodas, or at least keep him on his toes, but ultimately that's not going to last forever, and he just doesn't have anything to put Meliodas down. He doesn't have the power to do it. So ultimately, I gotta go Meliodas on this. I think this one's kind of a stomp, sadly. But that is just my opinion. What do you think in the comments below? Let me know. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I got Meliodas. Do you got Killua? Can you theorize why he would? Do you have a good explanation of why one of these guys would win? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you folks for the next one.